film.
We have such sights to show you.
Welcome to the TDMMVI, a horror podcast. I'm Jesse Spitzer.
And I'm J.R. Lees.
And today we're going to have a very special episode. I'm very excited. My beautiful wife, Becky, is going to be on, and we're going to be talking about Nosferatu, which is, I believe, her favorite horror movie. But
it should be, as it should be, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as far as horror movies go, it's a good pick. But yeah, so stick around and join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we are now joined with my beautiful wife, Becky, to talk about, would you say it's your favorite horror movie?
It's up there. Yeah. It is, I would say, at least in the top 5. It made its way up to my top 5 pretty much immediately.
Yeah.
Like day one, you leave the theater and you're like, that's top 5. Okay. That's impressive.
Yeah, immediately I was like, this for sure is one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah, and of course we're talking about Nosferatu, the remake that came out in 2023?
2024.
2024.
Yeah.
Oh, right, because it just barely missed my, to be in my top of the year last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By like a week.
Yeah. Yeah, it was right at the end. Yeah,
I love this kind of Christmas movie. When I put them on Christmas, it just makes me so happy. I can go out and like, we saw it in the theater. The next door was whatever it was. All the little kids walking by, and I'm going.
We always pitch double features. I think a good double feature with this would be the Muppets Christmas Carol.
Oh, for sure.
Similar vibes.
Year, you know.
They look
similar.
similar.
The Muppets Nosferatu. That'd be fun.
Oh, that would be fun.
Oh, Lord.
Who would be Orlok?
Oh,
I think we stick with Bill Skarsgård. You know?
I was going to say he's like he's the one human
actor,
character.
Yeah.
Everyone else is Muppets. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Beyonce.
You got to have Kermit. Has to be Nicholas Hoult.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Oh wow.
Now I'm going to.
Miss Piggy?
We could actually make.
Well, Miss Piggy, she's going to be Ellen.
Yeah.
Okay, for sure.
Okay, now is Gonzo going to be the professor? I'm going through the cast over here.
Better question. Do we want to see Bill Skarsgård in that finale scene with Miss Piggy? Because we have to prepare for that.
I don't know. I don't think Kermit would be all right with that, man.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
For people who haven't seen the movie or the original or are just completely unfamiliar with Nosferatu, Becky, you want to talk a little bit about like what this movie's about?
Yeah. So it kind of was a ripoff when it started way forever ago. The first Nosferatu movie that came out was 100% a ripoff of Bram Stoker's Dracula. So if you've ever read that book, which I, of course, have a soft spot in my heart for, then pretty close to beat for beat, you know what the movie is. I would say like the resolution is different from the book, but everything else, it's just straight up Nosferatu, Count Orlok. You know, names are changed, but every character remains the same in heart and in spirit. So it's really cool. It's Count Orlok has come from his eternal slumber, basically, and has been called from the grave by a young Ellen, who at the time was, I guess, really lonely and just like calling out into nothingness for some company and for some love. And for some reason that call ended up in Count Orlok's undead ears. And so now the rest of her life, she has been just tormented by him. And then that kind of evolves into her eventually getting married to her husband. And then it kind of snowballing into this just awful torment between her and Orlok and him and her family. And it's just a whole awful, poetic, dark, gross, horny mess.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was the least horny way you could describe the movie, because
yes,
this is
very horny.
I think this movie might top Sinners for the horniest movie we've covered on the podcast, because this is a horny movie.
It's the whole plot.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as being a monster movie, the whole plot is undead dicking. I mean, that's what Nosferatu is in German. Yeah. That was well done, Becky, because you said that very tastefully.
Yeah.
Me and the idiot over here going, yeah, they fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One
then
day
you book-
Ellen woke up and she was really horny, and then that summoned a
She's
demon.
just horned up. Yep. To be fair, she was a child when she called out to him,
yeah.
so that's a little ick. But we don't talk about that because that part's not really
I
shown.
mean, if we're
in
talking
the
age
movie.
gaps,
That's probably the most intense age gap ever recorded.
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's
Yeah.
pretty wild.
But it's also it's told in such like a loving way. Like it's all about doesn't even feel, I wouldn't even say it's a movie about love as much as it is just about like unquenchable passion and like desire, and just like this yeah, just like having a hole inside that you, well, okay, nope, I'm not finishing that. Metaphorically feeling like there's something missing, and
Bring it on. Come on.
Count Orlok
Something that needs to be filled, would you say?
right, exactly, yeah. But yeah, and I love that this movie it's such a fun watch because it is so first of all, the acting is incredible. The way that they can portray this passion and this like lust. The scene that comes to mind immediately is when she wakes up in the middle of the night and opens the window and he appears in her room, and like he gives her the 3-day dilemma essentially, and just like the amount of like that they want to devour each other in like a sexual way, but also in like this hateful way. And it reads so well, and you feel it so because the performances are so incredible. It really is mind blowing. I think Lily Rose Depp is like just an incredible actress. I think she gets a bad rap because she was in a few stinkers.
But even the stinker, she's doing good work.
Yeah.
I mean, even like Yoga Hosers. But I mean, what was the HBO show?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
The Weekend. She's still really good in it.
Yeah.
Until the last 5 minutes when they told her to do something that they shouldn't have done. But in this one, I was amazed by how good she was.
Yeah, when I found out
both times, yeah.
When I found out there was no CGI used in her facial performance when she's being possessed, there's that's so I guess just to give a more general summary of events that happen in this, essentially, as Becky said, she gets married, and then I don't know how he gets word of the marriage or whatever, but essentially it becomes his life goal to like end the marriage and replace. I don't even know. Is the plan to kill her in a passionate way, and like that's just like the grand crescendo that he's after? I'm not entirely sure, but
I would say, I mean, it's really just like the most pure form of lust that you could imagine. It's just so violent and hateful, and like you said, passionate. So I really don't think it's, well, I want to be your husband. I want to be the love of your life.
I almost don't think he thinks about the end result at all. It's just like, I know that I want this person, and that's it. Like that's all, you know. But yeah, he eventually makes his way to where she's living, and gives her like an ultimatum, like, you have to accept my love, or I'm gonna pretty much make your life hell for the next 3 days until you do.
So marriage.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, and it's just there's a scene where she's Lily Rose Depp, Ellen, is talking with her husband, and it's incredible just talking about the acting, how she is able to do this super intense, emotional, kind of, you know, realistic romantic scene where she's talking with her husband like, you didn't care enough, and you were foolish, and you did all these things. And as she's giving this amazing performance and she's kind of walking around this table, then she also transitions into this second incredible performance of being possessed, and the two kind of blend and merge for a moment where she's still just like spitting this like all of her distaste for her husband because he can't, you know, satisfy her the way that she needs. And then she just starts like shaking while doing that at the same time, and then that transitions fully into her just completely becoming a different being. Almost like her face warps in a way that I don't know how there was no CGI involved. And then that transitions into like one of the horniest scenes I've ever seen in a movie, where she says to him like, "You could never please me like he does," and for a moment you think, oh, that's Orlok still inside of her taunting the husband, but then you realize, no, that was a challenge. Like you prove me wrong right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just such a good script to find really good actors. Like there's just so much for actors to do with this script, and they all just completely nail it, and it's just incredible. Yeah.
Well, I think in that moment she is very much challenging him. I think you're right, but it's also like, let's show him. I think she actually says, let's show him our love.
Yeah.
Like, let's show this asshole like what he's ruining because he thinks that our love isn't real. Let's show him what love actually is, kind of thing. Which is neat. It's really sweet in the middle of a super not sweet scene. So.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Jason?
Well, I would just about that scene. It's just such a impressive that the original Nosferatu is pretty much just Max Schreck is kind of a walking phallus, and it's scary, and it's German, and it's a silent movie, and it's very much ripping off Dracula. I think there's probably a stage play back then, so like they were ripping off and couldn't get the rights to it. And then this movie, they've taken that fun concept and they've added so much to it. I don't remember Dracula. I mean, I've never seen a Nosferatu, 'cause even the 70s remake, they don't have this much character work on it. It's like it's Klaus Kinski playing the vampire. And it looks cool, and it's very dark and very depressing. But this one, all the layers of what Depp has to do. Is it they go by Depp or Rose Depp? No, it's just her last name's Depp. I don't want to get her name wrong.
Yeah.
But
Lily
she's bringing
Rose Depp.
but her name is Lily Rose. And then Depp,
first name Lily Rose. Yeah.
But what she's doing there is so much, and then Holt too. They're doing so much homework on like on loneliness, and also, hey, my husband, hey, we're a team, and you love me so much, right? Crickets. Well, then she's let down because he isn't there to back up how much that she loves him. And then is their love real, or is it just loin love? You know?
Yeah.
And there's so much going on in a movie about a vampire with big teeth and in a wang. They do so much with it because before this, the Coppola Dracula, and then the credits to Nosferatu, it even says based on the Murnau movie and Abraham Bram Stoker's Dracula, so they're giving credit to Dracula being what it's based on. But like the Coppola Dracula kind of does it with the Keanu and Winter Ryder love story a little bit, but it kind of goes through motions. This one, they're trusting Depp to pull off that I'm stuck here. And like, is my boring ass banker attorney husband is my entire life based on what other men think I am? This guy thinks I'm walking sex, and this is gonna be great. The only laugh in the whole movie, when the doctor's saying, well, just give her more. Let's give her more medicine. She's clearly has too much blood in her body, and if she freaks out some more, give her less medicine. And it's the most like, turn her over. And like this, it's a woman. She's hysterical. Slap her once. And it's a laugh, not because it's funny. It's a laugh because this is how medicine was back then. Yeah. So it's not even like a laugh. It's like it's an odd like, oh, this isn't a horror movie. This is a documentary for 2 minutes.
Absolutely.
But it being a monster movie, usually you had the monster and you had the big fight at the end. The end of this is there's no fight with Dracula with Orlok. It is her going, okay, I'm gonna just do what I have to do, and then every other character in the movie is completely worthless. The husband, the dog. No, they are. They're in the way.
Yeah, for sure.
No one does anything. She has to take it all in her own hands, and that's saying a lot for a movie about a 7-foot tall vampire.
Yeah, and I like that. There's so many characters in this, and they're all, like you said, they really don't do much with the plot. I mean, they're all just kind of in the way. It's just like an accurate representation of this would be like Lily Rose, or Ellen, and Orlok on either side of like a crowded street, and just like passing you're trying to push through everybody to get to each other, and everyone else is just kind of there.
Yeah.
But
And no one's listening. Yeah.
yeah, and but at the same time, every character in this is so good and so interesting. And I think my favorite character, which is funny because going into this movie, the most recent watch, he was my least favorite character in memory. But watching it over again, it's the friend.
Friedrich.
Is that his name? Yeah.
Kick ass.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is so 100% who I would be if I was in this movie. And he really, I mean, I think he gets the worst of it. He gets punished the most because he's the one that refuses to believe for so long, to the point where it's like, by the time he's finally like, okay, all right, I guess this is real. He's already lost everything, and he's like dying already. It sucks. It's heartbreaking, but it also double sucks as like someone who knows that that I would 100% be in that guy's shoes, because and he is so he's so fair for so long. Like he just found out his wife has the plague and she's gonna die in this horrible way. And he just very politely is like, hey, you guys should go home, actually, because things are kind of rough right now. And it seems like that all kind of started when you guys showed up. And he, even in that scene where he's like kicking them out of his house, he's so like friendly and cordial about it. And just like, listen, dude, my wife's dying. What do you want from me? like, give me a break. But Ellen very justifiably is like, no, everybody you love is going to die unless you listen to me. There's vampires. And he's just like, okay, that's silly. Get out of my house.
Here are my core beliefs. You know, nothing, no matter what, you can't prove it to me.
Yep.
Right to the end. Cause I mean, he's lost his two kids, right? His wife, his wife is now buried or about to be buried. She's in the coffin.
Yeah.
And he still can't believe that it's over. He can't accept that. So he climbs on top of her. And I never noticed it. I don't know. The first time I saw it, I didn't realize that he's actually.
Yeah.
One last time.
Yeah.
Even then,
Last
he's not
dance for Mary
accepting.
Jane.
And it's not.
He said he couldn't ever keep his hands off of her. So
and
he's
right to
just
the very
true
end.
to himself the whole movie.
Is it weird
Go ahead.
no, you know what? This joke might need to be cut. I was gonna say, is it weird to have sex with your dead wife in front of your dead kids? Because
Well, no, because their eyes are closed.
Multiple layers. It's weird.
Right.
Yeah. Weird. Yes, it is weird. I'll go out on a limb and say that it's kind of weird. But it's that last scene where, and I didn't realize the first time I saw it, and I saw it just recently, that he's actually on top of her.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's a passion thing, and it shows how much he loves her and misses her. But going what we just said, I just realized he can't accept that she's dead. He can't accept his vampires. He can't accept that it's more than a plague. He can't accept that she's gone. So he's going to just sit there and be in denial.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, but I'm bump, as the kids would say.
Right.
Why am I the polite one today?
I feel like Friedrich is very much the embodiment to what men were and were expected to be back then. Like all the way down to like the way he's treating Ellen, and he's talking about like, I've been so cordial this whole time, but then she also makes a good point, like, dude, you tied me down when I was like sick and like on my deathbed, basically. Like, you can say that you were cordial, and like by your standards, sure, maybe you were cordial, but like if we're talking like at least modern days, he actually wasn't in any way. He was just being the full embodiment of what men were expected to be back then, which is the man of the household. You know, I'm not accepting any of this nonsense. We're going to do it the way it's meant to be done. Like, you guys are out of your mind, and this is just a plague that we need to get through.
Yeah,
I think it's even says it about today though too, because I mean, it's true for 1888, whatever the year was. But it's also works as today's audience is the same thing. Is that the guy? I mean, not being political, but he's supposed to believe this. He's supposed to follow this person, this lead, and it's kind of like saying that just following orders. He's blindly doing what he's told to do and not thinking for himself. So he's going to completely. I mean, it works on both levels. It works for a guy back then, but now you see it all the time where people are like, well, my grandpa told me not to wear a mask. so it's got to be fine. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna spread this plague. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna bring up vaccine, but it could be even that too. Like I'm not gonna
Sure.
I'm not gonna protect myself with a vaccine. I'm gonna sit here and just say, even though it doesn't, it kind of twists that with the plague. You know, the tying down though, it's like it's like anything a guy can do to not listen to a woman.
Yeah.
Now, having said that, Becky, what's your point? I want to make sure
Absolutely,
that I'm
absolutely.
on record saying that and asking that right now.
We respect women on That Would Make Me View It
Uh,
podcast.
Yes, we're all about women respect and consent and all of the things. When you were talking about the scene of her being ill, with like the ether and the medicine and all of these treatments, quote unquote, that they're trying to do, and they're like, oh well, if you tighten the corset, it increases the blood flow within the body, and I'm like, she can't breathe right now. That's so clear that she can't breathe, and you are pulling any air that's left in her body out by tightening that corset. And there's even a shot where two of the men are struggling against her, like convulsing to just like wrench the corset tight as they can. And I'm just like sitting there like, oh my God, I feel the air getting knocked out of my own body.
Yeah.
It's just, it's awful.
Of course, no matter what, is a torture device. Not that I have
Right.
percent notice, but the fact that he keeps mentioning, and it has to be intentional from the script, the corset being be pretty, be thin, but also he mentioned her posture, which again is supposed to be so she can breathe, but it's saying stand up straight. I was waiting for him to say if she were to smile more,
Right.
she'd be healthy.
Right.
But it's kind of like, be what I want you to be healthy. Don't have these problems. It's a big old. It's condemnation of men in general, and I'm
Yeah.
not saying that to be like lefty or woke, but I mean that's what the movie's about. Is
Right.
she's going to do, and she is the hero at the end. Even with, I forgot the whole subplot of the friend Friedrich and going through, and then I forgot all about that because it doesn't mean anything. It is going to be
to the main plot. Yeah.
the main plot. He goes off to him, and it's not that it's boring, but it's just the fact that it comes down to Depp doing what she has to do and nothing else. It even go to the where everyone's buried.
Yeah. The
And
crypt.
Defoe's like, yeah, but then Willem Dafoe is like, oh, I'm going to burn them up. You knew he wasn't going to be here. Yeah, I wanted to burn some rats. It was like he wasn't even trying to help. It was just, you know.
Yeah, it was pretty much to
Yeah.
get everybody distracted,
Mhm.
which is interesting too because that character, he clearly cares a lot about Ellen, but at the end, I think he kind of what's the word,
Relinquished himself to it a little bit. Yeah.
or just like taking the path of like greatest good despite personal feelings and things. It's like he knows that she is gonna die, but he also knows that with her sacrifice will come the end of this plague, and he's gonna save a bunch of lives. And yeah, it's interesting. You can kind of read. I'm glad he shows up at the very, very end, because I forgot that he shows up at the very end in the room where it happened, and because I misremembered the last time we see him as him just being a lunatic burning rats, and just like being like, oh, no, on the cock crow, blah, blah. He says cock crow so many times and I love it.
The
every
first
time.
cock's crow.
Yeah. But yeah, you really get the sense of like he really it doesn't feel like an easy decision for him to be like, yeah, we'll sacrifice Ellen, but at the same time it's like the only decision that can be made because there is no alternative. He like he says you can't. He says when the husband leaves to go, when he finds out that he's been duped, and he's like, oh, Orlok is actually with my wife. The thing that Willem Dafoe yells at him is, you can't run from her destiny, which is like, I love that line so much. So many lines in this like are just so, it feels like they were written like it feels like every line there was like an hour of thought just put into like how exactly should we word this sentence. It's just so beautifully written, but yeah, I really like that idea of like, it really is, it's her and Orlok. It always has been, it always will be. It will, and it'll be up to her at the end to take care of him, despite there being like this you know, this, because you, like you said, there is no like big fighting the monster at the end, but there is still a build up to that scene. There's still a build up to fighting the big monster. There's the, you know, the three men going and with their pointy sticks and their fire, they're going down the canal to get to the place, and then they have to get past all the rats and stuff, and it's just like, but it's all just a setup for just like, oh yeah, no, she's got it. She's got this taken care of.
Yeah. It's kind of wild, actually, because I'm pretty certain that in the book, the conclusion does not involve Ellen's sacrifice at all. It is very much like, okay, here go the men with their torches and pitchforks, and they go and then they take care of Orlok for her in her name to save her, kind of thing. And I was kind of wrestling with the idea, like, do I like the movie ending better? Because sure, it puts the power into the woman's hand after she didn't have it for so long, and that's so cool. But also, like, it was a sacrifice, a sexual sacrifice, and like just so much of herself went into it, and like the men couldn't help her the entire time. And that whole movie, the men were like, "Let me help," or "I'm trying to help you." So I think just now I've decided that I do like the ending of Robert Eggers' movie at least a little bit better. I mean, I do still like the book ending too, just to be true to it, but just feeling like that feeling that she's taking back some of her power and some of her autonomy. I just can't kind of escape that feeling. That it just feels so good to me, where I'm like, you spent this whole movie being tortured by men and undead men, and not being listened to, and screaming and crying and begging for them to just listen to you because like you have known what's been going on since your childhood. And then finally at the end, you're like, I am the one who has to handle this. And so she takes the men out of the equation. She said, yes, you go and you do not come back until you've taken care of him. Promise me that you will not step foot in this house, until he's taken care of, knowing that they're not even going to encounter Orlok and that she's going to have to do it all of herself.
Yeah.
And that's just so powerful.
And I think he does a great job, or they all do a great job with their performance as well to really sell that idea too, because there are so many reads on the ending of this movie, and some of them are just so ridiculous in my opinion. There are people that like watch this movie and walk away from it being like, man, Orlok won. It's like, how can you at all feel that way? I could see a reading of that if the movie was made worse, but with the performances and everything, that final scene, it is just Ellen like being so smug and being like, "Gotcha, bitch." Like, it's so satisfying the way the shot of him drinking her blood, and then he hears the crow cock, whatever. Yeah, and him like looking out the window, and then it's just the camera kind of pans around and he looks back at Ellen, and Ellen's just smiling at him, and it's such like a great moment of just like, yeah, I was in control this entire time. You had no idea what you were doing. But some people read it as like, oh, he sacrificed himself to be, or like they overly romanticize it on his end. And it's just like part of that feels a little bit like misogyny. Like they just can't come to grips with the fact that it's like, oh no, this movie is about a woman taking control of her sexual desire and but I think that, go ahead.
No, I totally agree. If this was the Coppola one and it ended with Gary Oldman on top of Winona Ryder, I'd still watch it. But it would have been Gary Oldman's Dracula winning the way that one was done. But this movie is all about no one listens to her for the entire time, and she's, whether it's her fault for thinking they're gonna help her, or it is about her realizing that she has to do it herself. It's a realization, because it doesn't have to be a win or lose kind of thing. But that shot at the end to me is there's no way around it. She knew what she was doing.
Yep.
That sounds out of context, sounds terrible, but she knew, she had a plan. You guys started it, but she had a plan of the only thing that's going to stop him is this, which again, it's not in the source material. It doesn't have to be in the Murnau one. That's where they get the idea of the sunlight kills vampires, because they didn't know what else to do with it. So they have him walk by, and they have the sun pop up, and then he just disappears, which is a big deal back then because it's like the editing trick. Because in the book, he can be in sunlight. He just can't, in the Dracula book, he can be in sunlight. He just can't be. He has to get back to his grave. He's weakened in sunlight.
Yeah, it's more like
So
a
and
curse.
it's like exactly. It's like, oh, he just can't be under God's good light, like my good light. But here in this one, it is that she just delays him long enough, and that she knows how. No one else tries. They're all trying to be the man and stick their thing in him. That was intentional, but they're trying to stake him. They're trying to hammer. They're trying to be violent. That kind of approach. So the movie is saying, I mean, it is almost blatantly saying, listen to women, and then people that don't get that are just going, yeah, but he got laid though, right? So he wins.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what it feels like. A lot of
Mhm.
and to be fair, it's a pretty rare thing. I think for most people they got this movie and
Oh, yeah,
understood what it was trying to say. But I do see every now and again online discussion about like, well, you could read it that Orlok was actually in control of the situation and that he knew that he was going to die and he's probably bored. He's lived a long time and now it's like bro, no, just like let the movie be,
If you look at it just through his character, or you look at it from like, instead of it being about power, instead of being in control, if you look at it as being like loneliness and not being about passion, and if it's everyone's just alone, Ellen and Thomas aren't talking, Orlok's clearly alone out there in his castle with his rat collection, and no one's communicating, then the fact that even though he's alone, he got his stake. I don't know how to say that. I'm being really rude. Maybe then he won because he actually connected with her for a minute at the end, right? But that's not the movie's about. I mean, if you're on your phone watching this and you're making dinner,
yeah,
I can see maybe you're thinking that he wins at the end.
Yeah.
But I don't see that at all. Although I have to make a confession right now. The first time I saw this, I am so damn shallow. I didn't like it for most of the time because I hated the way Orlok looked.
Mm.
And then by the end, I loved it. When we watched this again last time, I loved every frame of this thing. But I get stuck in that thing where, at my advanced age, 400 years now, the Nosferatu vampire is one of those great monster designs. The big bald head and the ears and the bat thing, and it's in the original. It's in the remake. It's in like Salem's Lot has that look.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one of those looks that I've loved forever. So when they bring in Skarsgård in that look, and it's like the new Frankenstein, Del Toro's Frankenstein. I'm sitting there kind of going, ugh, and I knew going in that he looked like that. But I'm going, yeah, but I kind of want Boris Karloff. I kind of want. It's my little brain. Then I watched.
You're just nostalgic.
But it is, and I'm chasing that nostalgia. It's like when the new Godzilla movies. I'm like, well, it's not a guy in a rubber suit. What do I care? I want the rubber suit dude who does the whole that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
where
the first,
are the pins sticking out of the head?
I want all that stuff. I want. Where's the black cape? I've missed the black cape on Dracula since Monster Squad. How long ago was that? So the first time I was kind of fighting that, and I know I'm just being petty. Like it's like, oh well, every movie's made for me. I'm a white dude. I should be made just the way I want it to be. So when I see the second time, I was like, oh, I love his look. I love the big, the Vlad Tepes mustache, which is of the time, and I love everything about him. I loved it to the end when he was just a big skeleton laying there. Mm-hmm. So I have to get past. I'm just confessing the fact that I wasn't as cool as you guys, where I was fighting that. But God, the second time through, this is such a damn frame by frame masterpiece.
Yeah,
I do want that last shot. I want a poster. I want it to be like a 6 foot, 4 foot of them embrace when he's just the husk, and she's laying there, and they're all like wrapped together. Because it just says, I don't know what it says. I want to look at it and understand what that frame's supposed to be.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So good.
You want to take in every single detail. It's funny you say that this was that this movie, like every shot is like a painting, because we talked about this on our Australian horror. I think was it Australian horror. No, it was either Australian horror or the Chainsaw documentary, whichever one had Pat Oswald on it.
The Chainsaw.
Was it
Chain
the Chainsaw?
Reactions.
Yeah, because he for a moment he talked about the original Nosferatu and how that movie is so cool and interesting to him because every shot does feel like a painting that's just very slowly moving, and I think that probably gave some inspiration here as well. Well, obviously, I think this movie might have been inspired by the original, but
just a smidge.
Yeah, but yeah, every single shot of this movie could be a painting. Like it's crazy, and with the way that he makes movies, really, it just hammers home. Never am I watching a movie and I feel more like I'm transported into another time than when I'm watching a Robert Eggers movie, because
Yeah.
he sells how dark the inside was back then, you know, when there wasn't electricity and things. It's like there's a shot where the husband is going to meet with the whoever the property manager guy is, the who ends up being the thrall.
Oh, Airnock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That he like comes into the building, and he kind of goes into the back room, and it's almost like it's so dark. It is so incredibly dark, and it's because he does, you know, very realistic lighting for those shots and stuff. It's just mind blowing. It's mind blowing. The other one that comes to mind is when he meets with the gypsies, and they call them gypsies. That's not my word. The Romanians, and when he finally gets into the inn, and it's just like filled with smoke almost. It's just like there's no way these people are not. They're gonna get some lung damage. But yeah, I love how everything in this movie, it doesn't always look like a movie. Sometimes it just looks like a window into what it would actually be like, which is so cool. It's so immersive in that.
That's how I felt about The Witch.
Yes.
It was like, this is just this is a documentary that it made 200 years ago, and I'm just now seeing it. And just, you know.
Yeah. And
Also
I would say
beautifully done by Robert Eggers. He just has these ways of doing things they just make it feel so real.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, really thick accents, are hard for me to understand sometimes.
Yeah.
So I do often have to do a second watch at home with subtitles to really get the full concept of what's going on. But I still just have such a soft spot in my heart for most of the things that he's made, that I've seen, at least.
Yeah, I think the only one you haven't seen is The Northman, which we definitely need to watch, because that's another Willem Dafoe great performance in that. Much smaller performance.
Willem Dafoe. He's such a little freak. I love him so much.
I would say this is probably Robert Eggers' most approachable movie. I would say, because with The Witch and the less so The Lighthouse, The Witch for me, and I think you as well, Becky, we didn't really care for it the first time we watched it, because we saw it in theaters and we didn't understand what the hell was going on.
I didn't understand a thing they were saying, but I love it now.
Yeah,
I absolutely love it now.
I was confused by it, and I wasn't sure. We're watching it, and then it got done. I remember thinking, I don't know. I'm going to talk to the group we're with and kind of, talk afterward. And then some lady who sat right behind us, and like it's an empty theater, they chose to sit right behind us, like stands up and loudly goes, "Was that the stupidest movie ever or what?" And in my brain, I just went, loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it so much, because you rudely
Contrarian chimed in, yes.
Just the contrarian in me, but she had to state how bad it was to the room of like, maybe 20 people. And I'm just like, oh, if you hate it that much, I got to go watch it again.
Yeah, right.
And since then I've been like, why do I love it so much? Oh yeah, because the dumbass behind me. Yeah.
And that dumbass was us. What was that? But no, and then The Lighthouse, I'm
sitting next to you. Yeah.
The Lighthouse, I absolutely love. I think that movie is mind blowing, the way that it is written and the way the scenes unfold and things. But that movie is purposefully, you're not meant to understand what's going on. Like part of what sells that movie is the unease of like, I have nothing to ground myself right now, because I don't even know who to trust. Who are these people? They keep lying to each other. And then like, what's going on with, weird shit. And, but this movie is very easy to follow. It's like, it doesn't, which is impressive because it has so many themes going on. You have the themes of like modern medicine versus, the occult, and the themes of like the mistreatment of women, or like to kind of like, oh, a woman is having an issue. The best solution is like, how can we be the most inconvenienced, or like the least inconvenienced by the situation is the best solution, kind of thing. And then the idea of love versus lust, and the idea of like sexual suppression and shame, feeling bad because you have these intense sexual feelings, because that's something a woman's not supposed to have even today. But with all of that in this, it mixed together in this movie so well. it's still really easy to follow. And if you just kind of, it doesn't take too much for you to kind of like figure out what's going on. It might take a little bit of brain power to kind of see the underlying themes and things, but and that's why I think this movie is probably going to be his most well liked, because it's so easy to just it's easy to share. You can get anyone to watch this. If there's a little bit of a caveat of like you have to be into horny movies. If horny movies make you uncomfortable, this is not for you. But yeah, it is also genuinely very scary. There's a lot of very scary scenes. Any scene where Ellen is getting possessed is truly upsetting to watch. The scene where the thrall is like eating the head of a pigeon and like has this terrifying face that's like a close up that just hangs there for way too long. It's very upsetting. But yeah, it's very impressive that this movie is able to pull off so much, and still be so approachable to like just general audiences, I would say.
You could turn the sound, the music, but you could switch languages on it and watch it in German, not knowing German. You'd miss the subtext.
Sure.
But you'd still have it's a vampire movie. You could just watch it and just be, it would be cool to watch. I wouldn't watch it in the background because you're wasting it. But if you, this is the one you could get the entire story without having the dialogue. Yeah. Whereas with even with dialogue, I'm still confused by the wit.
Right.
And I think like Lighthouse, without the sound, without dialogue, it'd be like, well, that's just, Batman's pretty. Batman versus Green Goblin. But this is the one where like if pure cinema doesn't need dialogue, this one would come across. And I think even then you would get, if you're really paying attention, without dialogue, you would understand that Ellen's plight, especially with the doctors, and then when they're pulling on the corset kind of stuff, that that's not the right answer.
Yeah.
And the people that are all stiff upper lip and they're being all polite, they're trying to help and they're not helping, it would come across. So yeah, it is like pure cinema, to be cliche, because that's what I do.
It's honestly, when you're talking about how each shot is like a painting, it really is. And I think that goes hand in hand with how you can really get the story just by looking at it. Like if you had no audio, if you didn't have the language, every shot tells its own story, I feel like. And it's just, every single shot is so rich with just such a beauty, and it's just amazing. It's so potent it's just so poetic. I just can't, I'm fangirling over it so hard because of how gorgeous it is. Even the shots that are terrifying, especially the ones with Lily Rose doing her wild facial acrobatics, even though they are just to the core so terrifying, they are also at the same time just gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I feel like that throughout the whole movie, everything is just so beautiful to see, even the most grotesque stuff. And I'll tell you, Orlok, not a pretty guy to look at. He is, once he's derobed, he is gnarly looking in the light, my dude.
Yeah.
But somehow they still found a way to make it look so poetic and enriching. It's just, it's amazing.
Yeah. And I think this movie gets compared a lot to Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein by us also. It's sometimes unfairly, I think. I think they do have similar vibes, but they are very different movies. But I would say the same thing about that movie, in that every shot is beautiful. But that movie, every shot is like, it's beautiful because it's so flashy, and like the set is insane, and like, it almost feels like Wizard of Oz at times, like especially like with that tower that he's doing all the Frankenstein stuff with. But this movie is also in the same vein, but way different in that everything, it feels like a hyper realistic painting almost.
Yeah.
And it's just such a different very impressive skill to be able to make those shots look so good when you're lighting the scene with candles. It's crazy. Yeah. But he's able to pull it off. It feels effortless as well. That's another big thing, is like, it doesn't feel like he's Again, like Frankenstein, every shot, it's just like, oh man, like this looks like it was designed in a lab. This shot.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Del Toro, it looks like they made that is his brain. They went inside, they took a slide out of his brain and made the movie out of it. This one, and I know it's not true, they just went to that town and it was all there.
Right. That's
That castle was there. That's the people, the villagers dressed like that. The costumes, what they wear normally. It feels so real, even though it's clearly not. So it's kind of unfair. We're sitting here saying that, well, Del Toro, it's made from scratch. So's this.
Yeah.
None of that's there. That is all completely made, but it is hyper realism. This reads as real, whereas Frankenstein reads just like a movie. And that's not detracting from either one of them because I love them both.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
I want to visit there. I do. I want to get cholera and just live in that street,
Just get a little bit of the plague, really feel
just
what
a little
it's
bit,
like.
just build the tolerance up. Yeah.
For sure.
I had a funny thought while watching this when the husband shows up at Orlok's place and Orlok is like, all right, we'll come, let's get set up. And the husband's like, well, it's after midnight. Like, shouldn't we do this tomorrow? Or wouldn't you rather do this tomorrow? And Orlok's like, I would rather you do what I say. And in that moment, I had this weird thought in my head where I'd be like, I bet Orlok would like me. I don't know. I was like, man, if I was into this castle, first of all, my dumbass is signing that contract because there's no way. He's just like, trust me, it's fine. I'd be like, yeah, sure. I mean, whatever.
What's the worst gonna happen? He's in charge. He's a castle.
Exactly. I think I'm such a good order follower. I think he would like me.
A people pleaser. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it would end the same way. I think. Well, I don't know if I had to escape with my life. I think I'd probably end up getting killed at the castle. But I think I think after he killed me, he'd be like, that guy was all right.
He was all right. Yeah, I get that going for me too.
Not too bad, this guy.
Just a funny thought I had while I was watching it.
He's honestly, Orlok is just a little stinker throughout the entire. He's just, and what is Ellen? She calls him a deceiver, and that really is just the entire movie. What he is and what he's doing. He's just being a little stinker the whole time from the contract in his ancient tongue that Thomas signs. Honestly, by the way, homie should have known not to sign a contract he can't read. Like, isn't that like day one training? I would
agree.
He's not a very good lawyer, is he? No.
I would agree, but it's Orlok, though.
True.
Like, how are you going to say no
very
to that
true.
guy? I'm like, yeah, okay,
exactly.
I'll sign the paper.
Yeah. But then even when Orlok is like, oh, I'll give you 3 nights, including tonight, which is already over.
Right,
so really 2
night
nights. Like he's just the whole time just being a stinker.
Yeah.
Are these business nights or just like weekend nights too? It's like, is it past? Because you gotta,
And it's like Christmas Eve.
Business hours
it's
only.
Like, it's almost Christmas.
Well, and then when he has the thing about, he basically says, call me sir or Lord.
Call me Lord.
Like, show me respect. I'm going, that is such a, again, that's probably as intentional. He's talking about the upper class and then the commoners that we all are. I don't know about you, Becky, but us two are commoners. But it's like, you're going to show me respect. I'm wearing a tie, God damn it. You do what I say,
Yeah.
Karen. But that little bit is just like, it's just, but yeah, but Nicholas and Holt is so good. We haven't talked about enough about him because he has to play the whole thing like he's the lead. And past the first half an hour, he's not, man.
Yeah, they do a really good job with that character too. Just set him up as like kind of, because he's really, I mean, his biggest flaw is he's just kind of a dope. Like he's just kind of, he's not very confident. He's not hyper masculine like a lot of other people, in this movie. But like, at the end of the day, it's like he's not unfaithful. Like, he signs the contract, but that's because he's an idiot, not because. And even Orlok tries to like portray it as like, oh, your husband signed you away for a sack of gold, and she immediately is just like, no, he didn't. like
you liar.
Yeah, no, you probably tricked him. He's an idiot, and yeah.
She's like, I know my husband. He wouldn't do that on purpose.
Right, exactly. But yeah, and it allows for this character to be super. You can be super sympathetic towards him. It's just like, oh man, it just because he doesn't have an evil bone in his body. He's actually probably on the like a scale of morality. He's probably pretty high up on the list of characters here. I would say him and the Doctor both would be the two like moral. Kind of the closest to saints, I suppose, in this movie. But at the same time, you watch the movie and you're just like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? I also want to shout out that doctor character because I love how much of a homie he is, where he's just like, oh, it's the plague, this is bad. And then Willem Dafoe is just like, oh, actually it's vampires, and he's just like, okay, it's probably not vampires, but
you mean metaphorically speaking?
Right.
No, they're vampires.
Yeah.
I-
No, demons
I
from
know.
hell, actually. He's like, it's like, okay, well, actually, this guy who just escaped from prison was doing some weird occult shit. So, like, maybe you're right. Maybe there is vampires, and he just, he gets on board a lot quicker than I would imagine that a character of that archetype to get on board. And I really appreciate.
He's very much. Well, okay, I guess we're looking for vampires now.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna rule it out.
I love that so much. Yeah, can't rule it out. There's no evidence saying contrary other than what we don't know. So I guess we're doing vampire stuff now, and he's in it.
Yeah, it's great. It's just great. I mean, it's great. Hey guys, Nosferatu. It's a really good movie.
Good movie.
Have you seen the originals?
I saw the OG.
Because the 79 one, the Herzog one, it's we watched it like right after him home like a year ago Christmas from this, and put it on just to basically fuck with my kid who's down visiting, and he couldn't pay attention to it all. But it is neat because that is shot like in a German village, and it's like, oh, it's a much more the people play. It's not as stylized. It'd be worth watching. I think it might be on Shudder. Okay. It's worth watching. It makes this movie better. Sure. Because you see what like the skeleton it had to follow, but it's interesting. There's one, I think it's like 2020. I don't know what year it was. It was Doug Jones, Abe Sapien, a little like a Kickstarter movie. Oh. That was just a couple years ago, and that one takes the footage from the original one, public domain now. It's so old, and they CG'd the background based on the original frames from the movie. Oh, okay. So it's kind of it's kind of fascinating to watch. It doesn't top this, of course, right? But it kind of goes by. Interesting to watch, and Doug Jones playing Orlok. It's so strange. He's playing like a wrinklier version of the original one, but the dialogue, it's clearly Doug Jones's voice, and he gets to be like the leading man type, which he never gets to do because he's stuck being Doug Jones. I don't know. That's bullshit. He was the leading man in Shape of Water. He got the girl there too. Sure. Speaking of horny movies, that's a horny fucking movie. Speaking of Del Toro, that's a fucking horny movie. Yeah. But then this one is such a neat that it comes out just. Screw it. We're doing a whole new. We're not copying the old ones. It's such. I can't wait to see his next one. Is it the Wolfman or Werewolf?
Yeah.
I have no idea what he's gonna do. I have no idea what he's gonna do. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah. I think I have like the modern Mount Rushmore of horror. But it changes every day. But the two solid ones that are there always are Ari Aster and Robert Eggers. I think that they are like the modern masters of horror.
I would also put Mike Flanagan up there for me personally, but I do agree with those other two for sure.
And then I would round it out with Jordan Peele, but I still have not seen him yet, and I heard it's a bit of a stink.
But he didn't direct that one, so he just produced it, so you can get away with it. Yeah, there's a lot of guys I like a lot.
Yeah, that's fair.
But Flanagan is such a guy that's like. No one's like Flanagan as far as doing the long form stuff and then doing a film and then doing a long form like an 11-hour movie kind of thing. Because I mean, I don't know if I could. I couldn't survive an 11-hour Ari Aster movie.
Oh, God,
I need
no.
2 hours. I'm done. Whereas
2 hours is too much for me already.
You're almost have the bends, But I could go by another. You could double the length of Fall House of Usher. I'll watch that one in the background in the loop. That's just an amazing. Yeah, Flanagan, he gets a pass on anything. He could come out and make I'm trying to make a joke right now. I can't think of Kids in the Hall. That's an actual show. He could come out and make, what's the Screech show? Saved by the Bell. Oh, and I would watch the hell out of it when he has Kate Siegel playing, I don't know, in characters' names, some Screech. But yeah, Flanagan's like a rare breed, rarefied air, that guy.
Mm-hmm. What a monologue machine, too.
Oh God!
And dude, some great monologues they are too. They're all just so amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm team Usher and I'm team
Midnight
Hell
Mass.
House, but Midnight Mass, the boat scene is just Jesus.
So good.
fuck me, running.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
And then the
And
silence.
it's all on his wife's face, and just the whole fucking. Oh my god.
I always talk about that ending with the silent credits afterwards. It's just like it just
You feel the loss. There's just like, okay, I'm not gonna get up. Yeah.
Mike Flanagan crawls out of the TV like the Ring style and just punches you in the throat and then just leaves you in the silence with it.
And I should have known, because I mean, I know him from like Hush and oh god, Ouija 2.
What's the mirror one?
Oculus.
Yeah.
Oculus, which is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
also
I mean,
a great movie.
but all this stuff. But then it was Hill House, and it was somewhere in there, the reveal of that one at the end, when it just shows us cards. I'm just like going, I wasn't ready for this.
Yeah.
I'm never ready.
Yeah, and then Blind Manor, and even the ones he doesn't direct. But yeah.
Blind Manor is so good.
That'll be
good.
Becky's next guest spot is when we cover all the Netflix Mike Flanagan shows.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think just to kind of bring it back on topic with Nosferatu, highly recommend anybody who don't watch with your parents. We almost watched this with my parents this recent time.
That's true, we almost did.
But plans fell through, so luckily we didn't. But yeah, I
you gotta find out somehow.
You
gotta find out somehow how stuff works. You know.
Right. Yeah, highly recommend it, and I think you guys probably are in the same boat.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would say if it's something that you watch and you really enjoyed it the way I did, then maybe go back and read Bram Stoker's Dracula just to get a little bit more of what you loved, because like really they just go hand in hand so well. It honestly, Nosferatu feels like a love story to Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah,
it's probably a love story to the original movies that were from Bram Stoker's Dracula, but still, it's just it's so great.
Yeah, and also if you like this movie, definitely go check out Del Toro's Frankenstein as well. Because
absolutely,
like I said, very different movie, but I think
you could watch them together and not be redundant at all. They would complement each other real well.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I would definitely end with Frankenstein.
It's
more fun.
yeah, because you got to walk. But there's no undead cum shot.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
It's not the one. Not the version I saw. Not the version I saw.
That's the
we watched the director's cut.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And Becky, thank you so much for joining us. This was so fun.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, we've been trying to line this up for a while, so it was nice to finally be able to execute.
Yeah.
Now everyone knows when I say whether or not a movie is a Becky movie. Now they know who you are. So
they know what a Becky movie is, and it's Nosferatu.
And
so everything else.
Much. Well, what's interesting actually on paper, I don't think this is a Becky movie.
Probably not. But somehow it does it so well.
Yeah.
That it makes it less upsetting.
Right. But describing, it's a vampire movie. Yeah. I mean, I don't. But like, Sinners is
and
also.
I'm not usually into vampires.
Yeah.
Vampire movies kind of like Twilight I can appreciate the people who do love them and why, but just they never usually hit with me. Yeah. But Nosferatu, probably because of Bram Stoker, it just was a different story for me. Different creature, honestly. Different than a Twilight vampire, which I don't want to knock Twilight. There's some good things in there too, but
very polite. You have a future in politics. Yeah, we made it 55 minutes and didn't mention Twilight. I was trying to think what the modern day vampire was. I was going back to Fright Night. That's how old I am. I'm going, oh yeah, Jerry Dandridge. No, it's Twilight. Yeah,
Twilight. Yeah.
I would love. They should make a version of Twilight, but they're all like creepy Orlok type vampires.
Just all nasty, decrepit.
Do you know what I am?
But they have to go to school. We are having toast and McRib sandwiches today.
Guys, we're going to be introduced.
I am glittery. It doesn't quite work.
Guys, boys, girls, I would like you to welcome our new freshman in high school here, Count Orlok.
His mustache is now past his knees.
Years old.
Yeah.
When is the recess?
I need a hall pass to urinate. Yeah.
Oh God.
And on that note,
on that happy note, yeah.
Like I said, thanks for being on. I hope we'll get you on here again at some point, probably to talk about Mike Flanagan, I imagine.
Probably, yeah. He's very near and dear to my heart with a lot of his stuff that he does as well. So Oh, I wanted to show
Oh yeah,
yep,
my
it's hiding.
little work,
your art.
my little art piece that I did
There we go.
for Robert Eggers.
That's so
So
good.
this is a shot directly from the movie. And it is, I did basically an all airbrush version of the shot.
Yeah, if you can't tell,
And
that's
it's
not.
a very grotesque shot. It's pretty gnarly.
It's hard to tell with the small window, but that is not actually a shot from the movie. That is something Becky drew, and
That's amazing.
Yep, and it's all digital airbrush, but it took a long time and it was so much fun. But that's just like an example of how beautiful every shot in his movie is. They are just all look like that,
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah.
So there's
Grotesque and
lots of yes, lots of shots to choose from for someone who likes to do things like that. You could really scrub to any timestamp in the movie and probably find something worth drawing for sure.
Oh yeah, and the way it's framed too, like this. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Chef's kiss.
absolutely.
All right. Well,
Mwah.
should we throw it to future us to end out the show here?
Yes, we shall.
All right.
Thank you, Becky.
Yeah. Thanks again.
Thank you for having me. Love you guys.
Aw, it's on record now. It's recorded. It's true. It has to be legally binding.
We're gonna watch Ginger Snaps, right? For the next.
I didn't say it. I didn't bring it up. It was
No,
intentionally. I was being a good boy.
He was true to his
It
word.
was.
At one point, I was going to, but no. I like my skin where it is.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. That was so much fun. So glad to finally get Becky on the podcast.
You definitely married up. You really did.
Yeah, I know, right? What the hell was she thinking?
Lost a bet. She definitely lost a bet. Yeah.
And if you guys have any theories about what she was thinking when she decided to marry me, if you have any thoughts, go ahead and send them our way. You can hit us up on TDMMVI pod at all the socials down below there. And alternatively, you could email us directly at tdmmvipod@gmail.com. If you didn't catch the last episode, we did a kind of a viewer mail segment. That was a lot of fun. So, and we definitely are planning on doing that again in the future. So, yeah, if you want your voice to be heard, any opinions you have about anything we talked about or anything we're going to be talking about, leave a comment, leave an email. Yeah, but until next time, I've been Jesse Spitzer.
And I'm still Jason Lees.
Yeah, and that was Becky earlier. And this has been Devil Made Me View It. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks, guys.